I'm 32 years old, but this year, 2019, I'm going to my first ever family Thanksgiving. And if you're from the US, this little Australian, little, not quite, but I need your help. So keep watching because I've got some questions that I need answers to. But first of all, if you're new here, welcome, thanks for watching. But how does someone get to 32 years of age and they haven't gone to their first family Thanksgiving? Well, let me bring you up to speed. Deep breath. Start the clock. 2.5 years ago, I made a video about being adopted and how I'd never met my biological parents. The video was viewed over 100 million times online and it was on various TV shows. I've always wanted to meet my birth parents, but I never wanted to get too excited about it and set myself up for disappointment.
The stories people have told me about meeting is it sounds pretty good, but I don't want to get my hopes up too much, so I'm just trying to keep a bit cautious.
I received lots of comments, messages, and advice, and lots of people said that I should try an ancestry DNA test. My girlfriend Bridget and I did the test and gave the results to CC Moore, who is the best person ever. A few months later, CC sent me a text message and she said, "I found your birth father in London and you also have 2 half-brothers in Chicago and Miami." And of course I said, holy I decided to write a letter to my birth father, which is actually quite a difficult letter to write.
How do you start that letter? You know, it took me a week to kind of, is that the opposite of Star Wars? Be like, you are my father.
But it turned out great. He was really kind and really generous. He insisted I join him for Christmas in London, so Bridget and my adoptive mother Mandy, we flew from Australia to the UK. We got along so well, like a family. And like a family, we actually had a lot in common.
They do look like me before the beard and before the beer gut, how I used to look when I was a bit younger. But my birth father, he was a bit of an athlete, but he had to stop because he had a bad shoulder. And he showed me this scar from a surgery, and it's actually the same scar I've got on the same shoulder here from the same surgery. So there we go, that little scar there, that runs in the family, that one.
That was about 20 months ago, and we still chat on the phone regularly and even partied in Greece together in July. Okay, so we're up to date now. I've told that story so many times, and to be honest, I actually love telling it, and people still find it fascinating.
That is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I think I'm gonna fucking cry. That is fucking wonderful.
Alright, so here's the latest news. My biological family in the US has generously invited me and my fiancée Bridget to go and spend Thanksgiving with them in New Orleans, which is so cool. And it's not just the birth father and the half brothers and the close family that I've already met, it's the whole family. I'm talking cousins, uncles, aunties, cousins-in-law, brothers-in-law, my half-brother's partner, my biological grandfather who I've never met before. I'm meeting everyone, which is going to be so much fun. But because Thanksgiving isn't really a thing here in Australia, I need some advice. And actually, to do that advice and the questions, I'll get some help from BJ. Hey BJ, come here. I've probably already stuffed this up, but how do you pronounce New Orleans? Is it New Orleans, or do locals sort of say New Orleans, New Orleans, New Orleans, New Orleans, Zionville? I don't know, help me out. As I said, Australia doesn't have Thanksgiving, so is there anything I should expect or prepare for, or anything I should know before I go? Does anyone know if I could get an American passport and be a US citizen, considering that my birth father is from the USA and born in the USA? On my birth certificate, it's got my adoptive parents' names, Mandy and Rod, who live here in Australia with me. So there's no like paperwork necessarily that says I'm American, because I'm not really American. But considering I have a US birth father and I'm 50% blood American, does that mean I can one day work in LA or New York or travel around with a US passport? I don't know. We're considering going shopping on Black Friday, but I've heard that it can be dangerous and I might die. Is this correct or a myth? And last question, I've got a few spare days in the USA before I have to come back for Australia to work. So if you had a few spare days in the US and you'd already spent 4 or 5 days in New Orleans or New Orleans or however I pronounce it, which city in the US is the best place to visit for 2 or 3 days? Let me know. Okay, so I'm leaving really soon, and BJ is scared that I'm gonna leave him behind, but I still love him. But I wanna thank you for watching, and thank you for showing an interest in my story, and also thanking my dog BJ for being the round girl with the questions in this video. I'm leaving really soon, so if you wanna follow along and meet the family with me, all you need to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Instagram. I would really, really appreciate it. And see you soon, America. Woo!